This is a 3.7 McCulloch Eager Beaver. The hose had gone bad on it, wasn't sucking up the oil. So I installed a new hose, put a couple little clamps on it in case so it would hang on. Filter. And I made the hose just long enough to hang down into the bottom of the oil tank. Cleaned everything around the edges with acetone, and I'll seal it up and put it together. This here's the port that goes to oil your chain. And I'll turn this up here. This port goes to your hose. This port goes to your basically crankcase of your engine. So the pressure in here is up and down, up and down. Pressure, no pressure, suction. And this port here goes to your oiling port. Your automatic oiler here. In this center port that goes into the crankcase, there's a diaphragm in there, and that's what makes it go. This here screw, back it off, and it will oil more. Screw it down, and it will oil less. And this here's your pump. Very simple. So the only thing that can really go bad in this is the check valve in here and the filter, your diaphragm. So you eliminate everything else before you go order one of these. Okay, what I'm going to do here is use this stuff here, seal around the edges. This port here, you got to be careful not to use too much. It's the oiling port, so you don't want to do it. And when I get the stuff on, then I'll start the camera back up. Okay, once the reservoir is put on, you put in the 4 bolts. You should have a little bit of sealant out there, just very little. And number 10 metric. And we're just gonna do this for nice and easy like that, and let it sit for an hour, and then tighten it up. Unfortunately, this is going to be by hand. I'm not going to do these two, and I'm not going to make you watch me do that. Okay, what we're going to do is install the oiler, automatic oiler. Got your little dust pad here. Gaskets in place. A lot easier to do it now than with everything else in place. And it goes, 4 little screws. I hope. Let's see if they're going to start. Just about everything on this thing is common flathead. Okay, and we'll stick in our manual oiler. Spring tension is really in there. Okay, and our clip, big end on the bottom. Okay, that's in. Okay, we have the grounding wire for ignition unit is shaved through, so I'm going to put some heat shrink on it and fix that. What will happen here is if it shorts out, you won't be able to shut the unit off, plain and simple. Okay, what we're going to do here is install the ignition unit. I've already fixed chafed wire. Doesn't matter, this one can go here or here, as long as it's grounded. And the small wire goes behind the big wire. Metric again. So number 8. This here is between 11 and 15 thousandths. So I'll go ahead and screw this down, go get me a feeder gauge. I'm just putting it back on where I got it off of, as long as it's grounded. And the wire goes behind, small wire goes behind the big wire, kind of holds it in there. This here will go up and above. Something like that. Your gas tank. You put your gas tank up. Whoa, can't do that. There's a groove in the gas tank, which the wire will run into. So let me go ahead and set this up, get my feeder gauge and stuff. Fairly simple, and it's a lot easier if you don't have the magnet on this end. Okay, I've locked it down. It's between 11 and 15 thousandths, the phenolic and here. You don't have to be real close, and you'll know when you got it right, or if you have it too tight, because it will hit when you turn the flywheel. Okay, so that's good. So we'll go to the next step. All right, let's put in the gas tank and side shroud. Notice how that's grooved here and here. This here is nice to have so the dirt don't get down in. So we'll put the hose up through here. Gas hose. Nice and easy. Well, almost nice and easy. And something to note, I'm going to take this thing that we put in, our manual pump. Oops. I took the manual pump out because it's in the way, and we'll try it again. Much easier. I don't remember having this much trouble with the other one. I'll get it up in there like that. Hope you could see that. So this hose runs up and over You got to make sure that other small wire is up and over, otherwise you'll wear a hole in it. And we'll make sure that it's in that groove and down into that groove. Bingo. I know you can't see it, but just make sure it's in that groove. Set it up in there. Looks pretty good. We'll adjust this, get this here grommet in place.
Daisy and Duke are laying out in the...
Okay, slight interruption. So we've set this on here. Got the hose up through here, and we'll hook the hose up to the port on the carburetor. I don't know if you can see that. And then make sure that small wire is up above here, so it doesn't get worn like it did last time. When you're putting these screws in, I suggest you put the back one in first and then the other ones. You can start these a little bit, but loosely, and then put the back one in. And I will go ahead and do that. And you can see how much room I have up here on the hose. That will be covered with your inlet cover. Really? Okay. In case you wonder what all this blue stuff is on it, this is Loctite. They do that at the factory. Much easier to start that one if you do it first. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of the screws in. Here, here, and here. And then I'll come back. Okay, all the screws. Here, here, here. And the last one's here. Grommet. See all the wires are up here? This will all be covered when you put on this top cover. Make sure that small wire is up and through, and it goes behind it there. Hopefully you've seen that in the picture. So let's do the other side. And put this shield on. Actually, my. Okay, let's put the exhaust muffler on. There's 2 bolts hold it here, and then 2 bolts here. Once you put your bottom plate on, will hold it. They are shanked. Gaskets there. Should be number 10, I hope. You don't know if this comes loose. Okay, that's in. And these here should line up. And they do. So when you put the bottom cover plate on, it'll hold the front part on. And the bottom plate, the other two bolts are right here. So, let's put the side shield on here. Okay, let's side plate. Time for the side plate. Muffler's on. Side plate. Just over there, nice and easy. And by the way, this is where your oil comes out when you're oiling your chain. Fits in there nice and easy. And when we put this on, the bottom cover, this portion right here, this will fit up right into the center. See how easy that is? All right. And we may go ahead and put this on now. It's only 4 screws. While we're here, and we'll go ahead and stop because of the dog barking. Okay, going to put the side plate on. This is the plate. Fits down nice. Bottom cover. Got to make sure the 2 front bolts help hold the muffler in. Right here. You have to make sure that fits into that groove there. See how that fits? And we'll have to go find screws. Here we go. Should have cleaned this Loctite off. Put the 4 screws in. When I get done with that, and I'll start the camera back up so you don't have to waste your time watching me work. Okay, time to put our sprocket on. If you're having trouble adjusting your chain, seems to tighten and loosen and tighten and loosen and everything, it could be your sprocket. Here, like this one here is worn. You can see how it's indented. So when it changes over to the high spot, it really messes it up. So you can order one. And I did. And the old bearing looks like this. And a new bearing looks like this. And you can see the difference here in the length of the bearings. So, washer on first. Let's stick the bearing on. We'll put this one on. That's the new bearing. The new sprocket. You see how they're not indented, worn. Make sure you can see this. See, there's just a little play, right? So we'll take that off, take our bearing off, put the new bearing on. And there's the same amount of play. Whoops. This is tighter. See how much tighter this is? You can barely move it. That's with the old bearing. New bearing. See how much play there is? I didn't like that, so we're going to keep the old bearing on. Tight. Only goes one way. It's indented. Can only go on one way. If you put it on the wrong way, it won't work. Bingo. Left-handed threads. Okay. Yay. Left-handed threads. So you turn and it tightens. And to tighten this, you have to hold the bolt on the other side, and you'll figure it out. It's number 15. And number 18. So this don't have to be tight, because when it turns, it tightens it. So you just give it a good snug. Okay, I'll take it off. I stuck the other wrench on the back here, stuck this on, and gave it a sharp hit. Popped right off the nut. To take the pulley, the gears off, you can use a pulley something like this. Put it on, snug it down, tap it a little bit, come right off. No problem. All right, let me take a pause here. Okay, we're back. Time to put our starter rope on. So to do this, you just stick it up there like this, and it won't go on, but just give it a little pull. Just yank it a little bit. Boom, and it's on. Okay, and then you put four screws in. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go ahead and do that, and then we'll come back. Okay, put the 4 screws in. Works really good. What we need now, an air filter. This here, right here, will hold that filter down in place. That's good. I hooked up the hose, forgot to tell you, off camera. Hooked up the fuel hose right here. You just push it on, it should stay on. The fuel pump is in the carburetor, so it sucks the gas out into that, so there's no pressure there. But the fuel pump is right here on this side of the carburetor. And well, put that in. Bingo. Okay. And so let's work on this side. This here is your organ type thing, and everybody knows to flip them over each time you do it. This port here, that's where your oil goes in. When your oiling system, I don't know if you can see that, but anyway, it goes in there, right here. And it runs along the track. So when you clean this out, you always take a piece of wire. You can see I didn't do a very good job. And you run it down there and take all the junk out of there. So it's on this side and this side. So no matter which way you put it in, it's going to be right. You always clean that out after every day of use. You always make sure it's clean. So we're going to stick this on, and you can, I ran that way back, so you can stick it onto there. Your other plate helps hold the chain in, it goes just like that. And I take it off of the adjuster screw there and run it on back. The chain. Okay, to put the chain in, I've got this here on. Kind of slanted a little bit. We'll see if it works. There we go. That one worked. And up and around the nose. You can bring this back over the, make sure it's in the groove and it runs. Make sure that the adjusting thing is in there. And then you can adjust it. Nice and easy. Bingo. Okay. Let me get it close so you don't have to watch me do too much here. Okay, so then I'll put on the cover and then adjust it, which you should know how to do that. And I guess that's it. Hope this helped a little bit. You have a good day. Oh, you put your spark plug in and stuff. The last thing you do, put your spark plug in. All right? Okay, one more thing. Got to put the old bar in, which is really simple. Here, one washer, long one goes on the bottom. Stick it in there. And really simple, so that's in. Short screw on the top, long screw on the bottom, and that's it.